Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Overland 870 podcast. I'm your host, Brad, and with me tonight is always Dan, and we are welcoming to the show my good friend, Caleb Baker. Baker, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks so much for having me on. Stoked to be here. You guys rock.
So, we're just going to kind of jump in. It's going to be like a lighthearted show tonight with you, Baker, because we're such good friends. I keep telling people that. He's never actually agreed to that, but we are
acquaintance.
We're acquaintance. He calls me an acquaintance. I call him friend. It's okay. It's all right. We enjoy that.
The little guy he knows.
The little guy that he knows. So we are about to roll into Rito. And I kind of want to talk about that a little bit real fast because you've been doing some awesome promotional work for Randy and those guys over at Natural State Overland. Can you tell us a little bit about what you got going on this weekend?
Yeah, for sure. So what do you mean? Like besides the Rito event and the fact that we're all
the Rito event, some of those really cool videos you've been doing, man. You've done some cool stuff for them here in the last little bit.
Yeah. So the story there, they reached out to me. Oh man, it was about a year ago, and they said, "Hey, we want to work with you." So I run a marketing agency that's independent from, the Baker Overland thing. That's like what I do. It's my primary kind of bread and butter. And so they first reached out to me about that, saying, "Hey, we want some help promoting this stuff, doing some digital advertising." And so started there, and then they ended up saying, "Hey, we want to be a channel sponsor. We want to, support what you're doing on your videos." And that was super generous of them. I love working with them in that capacity. And so I've done a couple of videos through the year. Like I did a video when they had Bonfire. We promoted that. And then, I'm going to shoot something again this year. This is the funny thing about this stuff, though, dude. Like so much of this we do as a community, regardless of whether we're getting paid or not. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, so like I did videos for Rito way before they ever sponsored my channel, just because I liked what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of
so
the reason why.
Hang on just a second. I'm getting a text message saying someone can't hear me. Let me see if I selected my.
I can hear you. Now you're mute. Now you're there.
We can hear you.
I can hear you just fine.
Are they on your channel? Or
they should be good.
You're streaming through your YouTube as well.
Yeah,
right?
So there's this new YouTube thing where they let you port other live streams and share them across multiple channels. So I've never done it before, but I was like, hey, it's a new feature. This could be cool. So I clicked the button to share it and just to see what would happen. And apparently it's working good on y'all's and not on mine. So let me just say this real quick. If you're watching this on mine and the audio's jacked up, just go to Overland 870's platform and you watch it there. It should be working there.
We got you.
Share them across multiple channels. So I've never.
That's yours.
Before, but I was like, hey, it's a new feature. This could be cool. So I clicked.
Yeah, that's working.
Okay. Well, hey,
I don't know.
This is kind of the reason why I asked this question about the whole Rito thing, because Rito's a big part of the the Arkansas Overland community. Okay. And you started out way back when, before you ever got into this. And so we're gonna pass on a little bit of information that we found out earlier behind the scenes that most of you guys don't know. Well, some of you guys might know, but Baker's a Jeep guy. He's a Jeep guy.
Yeah, we got proof.
He's a Jeep guy. We got proof. He's a Jeep guy.
Guilty. So let me tell you the story here. I feel like I owe it to people to explain this because this is a little bit embarrassing.
Oh, it's too late, buddy. You got the tattoo.
Was that the first Jeep? Did that Jeep come first, or was it the other one?
Yeah.
Which Jeep came first?
Okay.
Jeeps, like so.
Yeah, hang on, guys. I got a really mad delay going on. I wonder if it's because we're porting the stream two ways. Let me end what I'm doing on my end and see if I can get. Because I'm not hearing both of you guys, and I want to hear what both of you are saying. It's like as soon as we went live, I lost you. Let's see here. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Now there's no delay at all. So whatever I just did fixed it. So awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Let's go from there.
Okay, so here's the story. So I fell in love with Jeeps when I was in high school. I wanted a Jeep. The idea of being able to pull the top back off of that rig and have a kind of an off-road capable vehicle that you could drive around like a convertible. It's just super cool. And my dad told me when I was probably 16 years old, he said, "We're not going to let you buy a Jeep until you can prove that you can hold down a job for a year." And
I shouldn't
then
have.
yeah, exactly. And then if I could pull that off, then he'd let me buy one. So I got me a paper route, delivering papers at 3:00 in the morning, and went and did that. Stuck with it, lasted a year, and he let me buy my first. I bought a 1998 red Jeep Wrangler. Loved that thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it was amazing. Had a soft top. It froze in the winter, and I threw a rifle in the back seat one time and just like broke the frozen top, went straight through. So I had it all duct taped up. I mean, it was a great rig. So started with that rig, and then I always loved Jeeps, man. I went from that, and then I got that one you just showed that picture of. Then I got the Renegade. And here's the deal, and this is where I'll be able to there it is.
Cleaning rig.
Yes. This is where I'll be able to redeem myself a little bit, hopefully, with the Toyota boys.
Okay.
So I had so many problems with my Jeeps. It was just nonstop.
Lies and slander.
Propaganda.
Nonstop issues.
False media propaganda.
And so the first Wrangler I took in, and it had a oil issue that ended up getting rid of that vehicle. Then I bought the next Wrangler, and the next Wrangler I had gone through multiple repairs and issues that I had with it. Nothing major, but I just got tired of it. The Renegade had one of those long tops that goes from the drivers all the way to the trunk area, so it kind of opened up the whole thing. Yeah, you can kind of see it there in that picture.
It up there.
One day I opened it up all the way to the back, and it just wouldn't close. And I took it to a Jeep dealership, and they tried to charge me $6,000 to fix that.
Everything on a Jeep is $6,000.
Yeah, it was just the default. So that's when I was like, I want to get into this off-road stuff. I'm tired of working on my rig, and I'm not one of those guys that trash talks Jeeps, but here's what I would say. Here's what I would
say. Everything that comes after "but" is just bullshit. Right?
But
here's what I would say about that. What I would say is, if you're going to have two vehicles, you're going to have a daily and an off-road rig. That was a heck of a sip of whiskey you just took there, Brad. That was.
I had to brace myself in the story.
Yeah. Prepare. So yeah, if you're gonna have a daily, if you're gonna have a daily and an off-road vehicle, then I think it makes sense to pick some sort of sedan or something as your daily, and then get a Jeep as your off-road vehicle, because lots of reasons. The suspension, I mean, they're just more capable vehicles in general, in terms of the off-road performance. However, if you're going to get one rig, and it is going to be dual purpose, so it's going to be your daily and it's going to be something that you take off-road, in my opinion, the Toyota is the way to go. The IFS is the way to go. It's more reliable, it's more comfortable, and it doesn't flex like a Jeep's going to flex, although now Jeeps are going to IFS. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
what?
Yeah,
yep.
Look it up. They totally are.
What? Stand by. Keep talking.
Yeah, I can't.
Go ahead. Anyways,
I said I can't deny it, because I told everybody, because when my Gladiator's done, which we're going to trade my Gladiator off. That's what I'm getting a Toyota. So I'm going to a Toyota. It's okay. I have no problem with Toyotas at all. They ride great. I mean, I've seen them do some cool stuff in some parking lots. I mean, I've seen a lot of neat stuff happen. I'm sorry.
Get out of here.
No, I'm seriously going to a Toyota. So I got to have something for work that's a little bit more gas efficient. So I don't know, but I just had to bust your chops about that, bro. Because
Now, if my Jeep has been 100% reliable, it's never broke down. It's never. I don't know what he's. I can't even finish telling that lie. My Jeep's been
That
3
oil
months.
leak. That oil leak that
this
he mentioned
year.
is standard. That comes in the paperwork when you get it, and that
Well,
actually
they're
is.
like aircraft. If they're not leaking oil, that means they're out of oil. That's just how you tell. I mean, that's everybody knows that. I don't.
Totally.
Oh, well, it looks like the
So-
cops are at my house.
I've got something here. What he was talking about. Apparently, he is correct. Give me one second. I'll get it up here. I didn't know this, and now I'm kind of nauseous, to be honest with you. Look at this. What? I mean, that's the extreme, but
Yep.
yeah.
So let's
That's-
back up and let's talk about why. I think that this is an interesting point. I have this conversation with other guys. So, you know, for those of us that like to off-road and overland and push our vehicles and all that stuff, we are in a very small subset. We are a major minority of the population. Like the normal person buys 2 vehicles. They buy, you know, in the South, they buy like a truck and a van or a sedan. So you got the family vehicle, it's an SUV, a van, you know, or if it's a small family sedan, and then a lot of times a guy will buy a truck. And that's kind of the two rigs. People don't buy 5 rigs. They don't buy a rig for each use case. And I've heard guys say, like, you know, well, you know, if I'm buying a Jeep, it's not going to be for a daily. But the fact is, everybody that buys a Jeep buys it for a daily. Like,
Oh, that's true.
People don't have the luxury of buying 4 or 5 different cars for 4 or 5 different use cases for the majority of people. And so that's what Jeep knows. And so Jeep knows that, and Jeep is going, hey, listen, we know that even the guys that off-road are going to spend 95% of their time on pavement. So IFS is the way to go.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's a better ride.
If you've seen that IFS, it was completely different than anybody else's. It's got a full diff right there.
Right.
It's like the old Ford split axle. So it is ISF, but it's like beefy, real beefy.
Yeah, and that's
But I think this
a
is a
beefed up.
concept too.
That is a concept. That's not what Jeep. I don't think that's what Jeep is doing.
No, that'll never hit the market. That will never make it to
It'd be
market.
$200,000 if they did, because Stellantis. Now you're not wrong. You know, when I was having my problems with it, I'm not kidding. And I'm not a Ford guy. Or I'm not a Jeep guy either. The only reason I have a Jeep is because what I'm doing with it. I've said that 100 times. If I was to quit overlanding, doing what I'm doing, I would get rid of the Jeep. It don't make sense. I can get just as bad gas mileage out of a much better vehicle as I do my Jeep. And
Facts.
so, I mean, but for what I'm doing, to me, it's the best capable vehicle to do it right now. Something else come out, hey, I'll go to that. But I almost, when I was having those problems out of mine, I almost bought a damn Bronco.
Oh my God. What?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Raptor. I was going to try to buy a Raptor.
Fever? What did you eat? Some bad chicken? What happened?
Bad sushi.
Bronco. I know Rex has a really nice Bronco, but why would you buy a Bronco? They make like 6 things for them. That's the reason why we buy Jeep and Toyotas. Not because of their awesome abilities. It's because they make 11 billion things for them.
A Jeep is the AR of the off-roading industry. You can put attachments all over it everywhere. You're not wrong.
That's like I got 4,000 different. Well, I'm not even gonna say that because you know that I don't use any of the footage that I have. So I have like 4,000 camera mounts inside my Jeep that don't record anything.
You don't even own a camera.
I have like 5 cameras.
Is it in case me or Baker rides with you? We got a place to put our camera.
That's exactly what. Look, I have so much cool footage from the day when Baker and all of us went out on this camera right here. When we went through the water and all that stuff, just tons of footage on here, just chilling out.
It's still the same footage from Jasper Jeep Jam on there too.
There's still Jasper Jeep Jam footage on here. There's
I got that same camera.
You do? I've got a whole bunch of those. You don't have a Minolta.
No,
that's true. I don't.
Hey,
I got a segue real quick. You mentioned that trip that we did going through the water. What was that last year sometime? So
Around Christmas, yeah.
I got to
Christmas tree
show
cake,
y'all.
too.
I got to show y'all a little something,
Oh, you still got the blizzards.
dude. So I saved it. So for those of y'all watching this that don't know the story, Craig, our buddy Craig, that came with us. Let's see. Let me see where it's at. Okay, yeah. He's a big like whiskey connoisseur. He's got
Yes.
all sorts of stuff. And he brought this. I don't know if this is going to focus. You might be able to see. So that right there, he had this bottle in his collection. That is my birthday, which was yesterday. And so I saved this for almost a year, whatever it's been, 10 months or something. And didn't drink it yesterday and saved it for tonight. So that's what I'm having tonight.
That's so awesome.
Nice.
That was super cool when we were there that night, and then Craig whipped that out. That was so cool.
That was so cool. It's been sitting in my cabinet waiting for this time to do it. So it's pretty cool.
That's kind of like my Christmas tree cake hat.
You're the single person keeping them in business. I'm pretty sure that's the story there.
Yeah. Dude, he had a case of, not a box, a case.
I had a case of, Gina sent me with a case of Christmas tree cakes, and I sat in my tent, my rooftop tent, like a little chipmunk, and stuffed my mouth full of Christmas tree cakes. Every time we stopped, I ate a Christmas tree cake.
So while you hopped off there a minute ago, Baker, Gina jumped on and said, "We're responsible for Brad this weekend, just so you know." And you live closer to him than I do, so
yeah. I'm flying solo this weekend, so I'm gonna need some parental supervision.
Well, my wife's gonna be there, so I'll just tell her to keep an eye out.
Okay,
make sure she reports back to your little old lady if she sees anything.
Ooh, you said old lady.
Oh, I can't say that, right?
So
because these people are gonna be here too. So McKenna and the New Mix group are gonna be there. And these things are awesome. I'm going to be running around. Yeah, it's shameless plug. I'm going to be running around with that thing all weekend, wreaking all kinds of havoc. Like just look, Gina's talking now. She's in the chat. You said,
yeah, I'm sure corporate's down there somewhere. She's always in the chat. She's like Dobby. She just hides out in the corner until she's got to pop up.
She's got to pop up and say something. Look, I'm just going to put it on the screen.
We're gonna nerd out for a minute, not too in depth. What got you into the making videos? Was that just something you did by fun and it just turned into a job, or what'd you do before you made videos, basically?
Yeah,
or have you just always made videos?
Yeah. Okay. So are you talking about videos like on YouTube or just
starting the whole thing? Like, how did Baker Overland get started? How did that even start?
18-year-old Baker, was you filming then, or was you still in the paper route? What? Just start from the beginning.
Yeah, dude. So there are. Oh man, I shouldn't even say this, but I'm gonna say it. There are channels out there. If you do some digging, you can find from a much younger version of myself that made some utter nonsense out on the YouTubes that still exist out there. So I've always been fascinated with films and movies and back when we had the old DV tapes that we put in camcorders when I back in the 90s, and I'd shoot videos with my buddies, and we'd go out and we did a bunch of different stuff. We did stop motion stuff. I've always just been fascinated by like the process of creating something. I was super into like drawing cartoons on multiple pages and flipping them, make it look like it moved.
Flip book.
All that stuff has always been fun to me. But in terms of YouTube, it was always just something funny. It was like, I get together with some buddies and we get some guitars and write some dumb song and
you're the Weird Al Yankovic of Arkansas.
Exactly. But so once I had kids, I started. We always loved the outdoors. I grew up spending most of my time outside. Grew up a big portion of my childhood. We lived on this big farm in Conway, Arkansas, out towards the Lolly Bottoms, and just spent a lot of time outside. And so once I had kids, me and my wife, I started doing stuff with them, and I found myself just grabbing my cell phone and I would film when we would go out, and I would make these videos and I would upload them as private videos on something called Vimeo, which is like a YouTube kind of It's like YouTube, but it's a little bit less popular.
I think I remember that.
Okay, yeah. So I put them on Vimeo, and they were password protected, and I would just share them with my family, like my mom and dad and close friends. And so my first overland, quote unquote, camping videos were literally just that, just stuff I shot on my phone, uploaded it, and would send the link to my close friends and family. As I started to get more into the space, I found myself going to YouTube, like a lot of us do, to learn, like, well, how do I pick the best bed rack, or how do I make a good decision about, what type of suspension I want, or how to. So I started using YouTube largely as an educational platform. But then through that, I found myself getting drawn to certain creators. Like a lot of us, I watched a ton of Matt and Kara early on. Matt is who taught me how to do Gaia. Like, I didn't know anything about GPS. And, he's like the professor of that. Like, he knows more of that than any of us. And so he was super educational for me in that. And then the adventure side, I got real into watching my buddy Grant from Arkansas Off-Road. Loved watching his stuff. Those two guys in our neck of the woods were kind of the ones who got into this first, at least the ones that had views to where when you'd search, their stuff would pop up. And so I loved watching their stuff, and I ended up going on a trip with Grant very early on, one of my first trips. And I got on that trip, saw me film, and asked if I had a channel, and I said, yeah, but it's just private stuff I share with my friends and family. And he said, dude, you should share it. Like, we would love to watch what you make. And I started thinking about it. I was like, dude, I enjoy watching what my buddy Grant's making. I enjoy watching what Matt's putting out there. I enjoy watching what all these dudes in the space are doing. And I'm only sharing my stuff with my mom and my dad and grandma and grandpa and like private stuff. And I was like, I should pay it forward and put it out there. Never in a million years thought anyone would care to watch videos of my kids playing in the woods. You know what I mean? Like, or videos of me running around. But anyways, put it out there and got a good response. I'm not like one of those guys that it was like, and then I put my first video up, and then I monetized overnight, and then sponsors started calling me, and next thing you know, I'm full time. No, dude. I did this for years and had like a year and had like 200 subs. Like, my story's not like that, but I loved it. And dude. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no,
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, and then
I went from 200 subs to where I'm at today, and
you're first of all, you're totally underselling yourself. First of all, you're totally underselling because now, just like we I used, like you said, everybody watched Matt and Kara stuff. Everybody did. I don't know anybody that would lie and say they never saw one of their videos, because that's just not true. If you're from here, that's what pops up. I started watching your stuff too when we got into this, and watching your stories evolve, the way that you tell them has just became phenomenal. Like, as far as I'm concerned, you are probably the best storyteller on the internet as far as YouTube goes for what we do. Yeah, I'm serious. I'm not just blowing smoke up your butt. You're not a chimney. I'm just telling you, I love when you do your stories. They're great. They are, it's always something new that you do, and you could. Why are you laughing, man?
Not a chimney.
You're not a chimney.
I'm not blowing smoke. You're not a chimney. I have never heard that.
But no, I can say that. I can say it to Caleb because I've got to watch the videos. I've got to go out with him on the trips. I've got to watch him make the videos. We've got to do that. We've got to be in the videos, and just stimulate watch this evolve. I mean, it has gotten just exponentially better, which was something that was really good, really, really, really good here. And it's just like, and I talk to people all the time, like, man, watch Baker stuff. That's cool. The hanging tree stuff, the Area 51 trip, the ghost light. I mean, all that stuff has just gotten, it's crazy. You've done a wonderful job, man.
I want to say something. I appreciate you saying that. And I want to say, I love what you just pointed out. The things that you mentioned where you said the hanging tree, Area 51. You said the Ghost Light. So this is something that has I talked a little bit about this at Overland of America when I got to premiere a video this year. Something that I always wanted to do if I built a channel was, I don't know enough about trucks and vehicles to make an interesting channel talking about trucks and vehicles. Like if you spend 20 minutes with me talking about the mechanics of a vehicle, you're going to find out about 18 minutes, about 2 minutes into the conversation, that I don't really know what I'm talking about. Like I pay people to do a lot of the work to my vehicle because that's not, but here's what's cool about this space is I found that it attracts people from all different kind of walks. So you have the guys that just strictly love the outdoors and they got into this and they'll build a vehicle that's capable to get them where they want to go because they just like getting out and exploring. Then you have the car guys, right? These are the guys that like, and I think of Grant when we were talking about him. I think of him a lot. Like that dude can build any vehicle. He'll slam a vehicle. He'll lift a vehicle. He just likes cars. He loves that stuff. And then you've got like the guys that are really into hunting, and this was kind of their bridge. They found then you got the fly fishing guys, and you've got like the hippie crowd. You've got there's all these different pieces, and for me, it was always the stories. Like the truck was a tool to get to the place. So the fact that the things that you mentioned when you were talking about my channel, and it was an Overland channel, and you said Hanging Tree, Area 51, and the Spook Light, that makes me so happy because that's all I really care about.
Well, I mean, it's true, dude. I mean, like we've had conversations about, going and filming, doing stuff like this and everything. And I have all these grand ideas and I have all this tiny skill, this little tiny thimble of skill. But it's just like, I get to watch this stuff and I get to see everything. Like you said, like you talked about, like Grant is a wonderful fabricator. Biddle is amazing fabricator, dude. He is amazing fabricator. We got Don that's in Overland 8700. Don builds everything from scratch.
Don,
dude, yeah, he is amazing fabricator. And then you got Matt's an explorer. Sean's an explorer. All these are people that are all out exploring. We got people that are building stuff. We got people that are doing this, and we got people that are telling stories like you that are going out there and showing all these other aspects, and everything is coming together in a big giant ball. And all these people hang out together, and they all share the story, just like you're talking about, the story of how they got there, the story of what they're doing, and all these different people on all these different walks of life are just coming together. And I think that's what's awesome about the overlanding community. It's not technically an overlanding community. It's a bunch of people that have vehicles that can get to the same spot and they go do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And so
we share an overlapping interest, and whether that interest happens to be the focus or happens to be a piece of the focus, we all have that over. And that's what's so cool, man. I've sat around campfires before with Democrats and Republicans and independents and Christians and non-Christians and Buddhists and but what's cool is there's a unifying thing about the outdoors. And to me, like, we have so much division. It's just cool when you find something that brings people together.
Yeah, and it is. And that's the most important part of this entire situation that we've strived for, you've strived for, everybody has strived for, is just a sense of unity in a community that we get to do all this stuff. And like I see people, go do, like when Dan goes and does his stuff, like Dan goes out and he does his trips and everything. And I see, like we talked about his camera work. He showed that video, the clip from his video. And I was like, man, that's cool. I can't do that. There's no way I can do that whatsoever. And then you go out and you do the storytelling and everything else. And the way that you present a story, same thing that, that they do, that Corey does with Big Rock. Corey's a good storyteller too. He does that. And then everybody goes out, and I can't do it, but I try to do it because I see you guys do it. And I think that's what everybody else is doing, is coming together and enjoying all that aspect of everything. So yeah, that's just me. That's my humble thought tonight.
So my introduction to you wasn't as cool as Brad's or anything like that. I was at Overland of America first year with Chris Carroll, and he's like, dude, have you seen Baker Overland's new video? And I'm like, who the hell is Baker Overland? And he was like, He just did one telling a story about the mine in Colorado, and he pulled it up, and we sat there and watched your whole video while we were supposed to be hanging posters at Overland of America. And dude, that's why I was like, man, that is amazing camera work, just amazing. I'm not good at it. I don't even try to tell stories. It's not my thing. It would end badly. I like my content to be like somebody's there with me. Like we're talking two buddies hanging out. One's a camera. That's what I try to make my content like. But the storytelling is fantastic, man. And you kill it. You really do.
He does.
I appreciate that. I want to say something about that real quick, just because I know some of them are in the chat over here. And I think one thing that I've done, and this would be advice that I would give anybody if they are content creators, but obviously that's not why people are drawn to this space. Like the majority of people that are overlanders didn't get into it because they want to be content creators. But what I have found is everybody is drawn to this space. They like snapping a picture of their rig. Like how many of us built a rig and we're walking into Walmart and we're sitting there doing the double take, right? It's a sexy thing. We want to look at it. And when you drive your rig up to an epic place, you pop your phone out and take a picture. You may not be an influencer. You may not be a content creator, but we like documenting these experiences because there's some, I've got a picture hanging up on the wall over here that you guys can't see of me and my kids swimming in Beaver Lake. And, that's something that I think everybody understands. Like we like to have these moments like locked outside of time so we can revisit them. And so to the people that like to do that, one thing that I found that has helped my channel a lot is surrounding myself with people that are inspirational to me. You guys are absolutely in that crew. And, you talked about the Colorado video and you said the cinematography was great. Probably 3/4 of the cinematography in that video was Jacob Biddle and Tyler Snyder from Independence Overland. So I think that surround yourself with people, if you want to go to epic places, find people that go to epic places and become friends with them. If you want to make great, yes,
dude, I've tried. You don't ever call me back.
That's what you just got to keep calling him, dude. That's how I got to be friends with him.
Whoa. You talking to me? What are you talking about? I respond. What am I? I'm sitting here, ain't I?
No, I'm just giving you a hard time, man. So yeah, completely. I started in this space 2 years ago, didn't know anybody. Matter of fact, it's not even quite 2 years ago. Rito will be 2 years for me. I showed up there, didn't know a person, met Craig and Mike first. That was the first two people in overlanding that I met. And then 2 years later, I've met some of the biggest names in the industry, hang out with some of the biggest names in industry, call a few of them friends. Some of the smallest names in the industry. But it's a very open community. There's not another genre where somebody starting out in 2 years could do that I can think of offhand, that could just roll in 2 years later, know some of the biggest names in their field.
Hey, Baker, Jeremy wants to know when he said Man Alive Overland son wants to know when you guys are going to go riding again.
Dude, I got a couple things to say to Jeremy real quick, and I'll say it to you. So Jeremy, I've been talking to Adam Barron, who I know that works at Man Alive, or he's on the board or something. Adam is a friend of mine. We actually played in a band together when I was in college. And I had no idea he knew you and it was on that board with you. So we got to figure out a way for me to join a Man Alive expedition. For those of you watching, if you don't know about Man Alive, look it up. It's a super cool deal. I haven't been, but I've heard a lot about it, and it seems absolutely amazing. To segue into when we're next going to do a trail ride, dude, hit me up in Slack. Let's figure it out.
Brad, professional.
That was Gina calling me from downstairs.
And she's in the chat.
She's in the chat.
She literally called me
and watching the video.
Baker, I know you like your haunted stories and ghost stories and stuff.
Oh,
so hopefully next month I'm going to get to go stay at the Stanley Hotel in Colorado.
Dude, I've heard about this place.
That's
it's it's just part of history that I want to go see out in Colorado. And dude, I'm excited. I'm not big into the scary movies and, you know, the ghost stories, but it's just one of those places, you know, like it's just, I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to that.
I have always wanted to go closer to home. I've always wanted to go stay at the haunted hotel at Eureka Springs, but I have never got to. I've never got to stay there.
Are you talking about the Crescent?
Yeah, the Crescent one. The haunted one there at Eureka Springs.
Dude, go now. You won't get a ticket right now, but if you know pick some time in the winter or something, go and then do the morgue tour, dude. It's pretty cool.
You gonna come with me?
Dude, I put it in my Halloween video 2 years ago. They were super cool. We called them up.
I'm a chicken, dude. I'm such a big chicken.
Dude, let me tell this story because I think this is cool. So we called them up, and this was probably the idea hit me in like September, and you know, which is the worst time to schedule shooting a ghost video at a place like the Crescent. It books out years in advance. So we called them up, and I was like, hey, you know, I've got this YouTube channel, and I would really like to shoot a video about this, and kind of pitch the idea to them. And they said, well, we're completely booked out, but you know, we like the idea of the promotion. We like the idea of whatever. We'll give you a 50% off rate, and we'll put you in this room, and we'll give you one-on-one access to our morgue tour guide.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And so, but they're like, the caveat is you got to shoot everything at like midnight or something, which, you know, just added to the whole weird, spooky vibe of the whole thing. So anyways, we went down there with this dude, and that was in that video, and that was so much fun. Like again, I'm with you, Danny, about the whole, like, I don't watch horror films and stuff. I've always found that the best stories are the ones where you let your imagination fill in the gaps. Like, I don't want to see some dude get skinned alive. You know, I'm not into the gore flicks, but like, if you could do like what Silence of the Lambs did, or like what the original Exorcist did, like they told you so much without having to show you a ton. And when they did show you something, it had so much more impact versus like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'm just like, I'm out. Like, I don't want to just watch something nasty, you know?
It just fascinates me because, you know, supposedly Stephen King slept in room, I think it was 217, when he had the nightmare of The Shining. That's what made him make the movie. And that's what fascinates me is, you know, with the hotel. And then he filmed it there. And I didn't know until earlier this year, the outside shots of the hotel are actually in, was it Iowa? Not Iowa, out west, Oregon. The actual hotel, the outside of the hotel isn't the Stanley. The outside of the hotel is a hotel in Oregon. The inside shots are the Stanley.
I didn't realize that.
That'd be pretty cool, though. I would freak out. I'd freak out. I'd get scared.
It's $300 a night, and I'll stay one night and film it all. But it's one of those things I can say I stayed there. I mean, you know, $300 is a pretty inexpensive price to pay to have that memory.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I have a $79
memory. No memory of things.
I stayed in a little motel for like $79, and I could swore it was haunted. That's the only story I got. That's it. That's all it is.
That one sucked, my friend. You gotta step it up.
He wasn't kidding. He can't tell stories.
Oh my God. That's all I got. Because I promise you, if I went and stayed at the hotel, and it was like just creepy, spooky, I'd be okay. But if I was like sitting there and like a door opened, then I would leave immediately. Like I wouldn't even I'd leave my clothes there. I would just leave. I'd just casually get up out of bed and just walk to the door and just leave.
So I got to tell y'all a story. I'm going to make fun of Benji real quick.
Let's do this. This is the best thing ever. Let's do this.
So a couple weeks ago, I did a trip with a group of people. I put a video out about this, and it's where we went back to the Hanging Tree, but we did a midnight hike there. So we did a camp trip, you know, and then it wasn't even the intent of the trip. I hadn't planned on it, but we just so happened to be camped nearby where that tree is. And one of the folks there, we were sitting around the campfire. They said, "Hey, isn't that close by?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's, you know, we could walk to that. That's not too far." And so everybody got on board, and I was like, this will be fun. We'll go do this hike late at night. So my buddy Andre, who was there, or let's see, no, it wasn't Andre. It was I can't remember his name. Blind Spot. What's his name? I'm drawing a blank. Blind Spot Overland. Can't remember his name. Dude, I hate that I just drew a blank. But anyway,
call him Ted.
Corey. It's Corey from Blind Spot. Okay. I just remembered. So anyways, Corey had decided before we had all decided collectively to go hike up to this tree that he wanted to go see it. And we didn't know that he was going. So he had gotten up, and he's kind of a quiet, kind of introverted type of guy. So you don't necessarily notice when he kind of, goes off and does his own thing. So he gets up and just disappears. And we collectively, a good half hour later, decide we're going to go hike to this spot. So if you know Benji, like I've gone to the Indian burial site, and it's in this cave. Benji walked into that for like maybe 0.5 seconds. And he was out up on the top of the cliff, and he was just like, bro, I'm not about this. Like, I'm not into anything. So he's not feeling this. So we start hiking down this thing, and then off in the distance, through the woods where the tree is located, you could see a faint light, like way out there in the distance. And obviously our group's all bunched together. And so we know it's not any of us. And so at first I think, is there someone camped there? But that's not like a camping spot. If you know where this location is, it's not like a spot you would go to camp. There's no defined fire pit, and it's kind of out of the way. You kind of got to go through some of the woods to get to it. Anyways, I have a video clip of Benji coming through, and he was just like, dude, this is super sketch. Let's turn around. I don't want to go there. He's like, we don't know what this is. He's like totally in his head. And I was like, dude, at worst, it's some dude with a flashlight. We'll be all right. He's like, dude, I don't know. Let's just turn around. I want to do it. And then finally we get up there, and it's Andre. And then he just like, I knew it was Andre. I was like, bro, you were pissing your pants. You had no idea.
I can see Benji doing that. I can see that right now. I can totally see that.
So have you done anything on the Gurdon Light, Baker?
Gurdon Light. So is that the one down in the valley that they say that you could see?
Yeah, the what do you call the guy? The guy that rides on the back of the train.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
so no, I haven't done anything, but I tell you, every time I do a video like this is one of the things that I love about this community. Is like when I drop a video that's on something faintly spooky or historical, it's just like nonstop messages of people that are like, you should do this and you should do this, and I love it. Like if you're listening to this and you're like, just know I love that. That's where all these ideas have come from, is people like you. But someone or multiple people messaged me about this about, and I don't even know how to say it. How do you say it?
The Gurdon Light.
Gurdon Light. And it's the place. So there's a place where you can go up on a ridge and you look down into a valley, and people say they could see it. But then there's another spot you can go down.
You walk down the train tracks. That's all it is.
Yeah, by the tracks.
And supposedly it's trapped gas being released and ozone and blah, 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 blah. It's only, where I grew up, it was only like 15 miles. So that's where we would always go when we were out drinking.
It's Satan is what it is. I'll just tell you right now. No, man, that's what they said about the Ozark. I'm telling you, man, that's what they said about the Ozark Spook Light. They're like, oh, yeah, it's natural gas that escapes into the atmosphere, and it does. And I was like, all right, so explain the Caddo Indians that tell the story of this thing, for the people that say it's car headlights or that it's – I'm just like, okay, give me an explanation. Now, I'm not saying that it's, the ghost of some lost miner, but I'm saying that there's a reason why the University of Arkansas did a study on it and came back with, we're not really sure what that is. That's weird. And that's all we got to say about it.
There's always that one guy. Man, it's the headlights of a 74 Ford pickup truck. Right. It's been out there. That guy's been there for years.
Yeah. So when you walk down the tracks and you see a light, the closer you get or try to get to it, the further it is. You can never, it's like a rainbow from what I understand. When we seen it as kids or thought we were drunk. We might have seen it, might not have. Could have been playing with a flashlight. I don't know. But the story goes, it's like a rainbow. You never actually get to the end of it. No matter how you walk towards the light, it gets further and further. It just stays, So I don't know why it does it, but there is a light out there.
It's drawing you to your death.
Yep. I mean, moth to a flame. Moth to a flame.
This is part of my issue. I'm going to go on a rant for just a minute, but I think that this is part of my issue with the Western kind of mentality. We need everything to be so. Is it true or is it not? It's black or it's white. It's fact or it's fiction. And like, there's so much more that you can get out of letting something exist in the in between. And here's what I mean by that. So the best example I can think of is when my mom's dad, we call him Daddy Dean. He passed away a couple of years ago, actually right after I bought my Tacoma, before I started the channel. He passed away, and that Christmas, he was a big fan of Christmas. And my family took all these pictures of all of us like gathered at my grandma's house. And there was this interesting like blue artifact of light in the photo that appeared in certain moments near my grandmother. And this kind of story came up within the family, like, you know, we've never seen that before, and it's so interesting that it just appears on my grandmother. And so they came up with this concept of, wouldn't that be crazy if that's Daddy Dean and it's his way of like, you know, reaching through. And there was people that was like, oh no, it's this deal on the modern cell phones and it's the way the light bends and it hits. And my thing with all that is who cares what is true or what is not? There's a story that's told there that brings some value and brings some meaning. And there's a poetry to that is just so much bigger than fact and fiction. So the way that I feel about a lot of this stuff is people that try and force things into these categories. Like, there's a story that you can let actually like move you and inspire you. And if you're going to get so stilted, I feel like this with religion too, that people are like, you know, well, did Noah, he really went and found like 2 of every kind of animal and he put it on there. Like, that's on. And I was like, bro, you're missing the poetry of this story. Like,
yes,
there's something here that can inspire you and move you if you get lost in the details. It's like when people go and watch Spider-Man, they're like, there's no way he could shoot the web and hit a building with every single time. I'm like, bro, you've completely missed the beauty, you know. And so anyways, and I'm not comparing scriptures to Spider-Man, but
I agree.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Cool. Oh, okay. So I'm going to tell you right there, what you said is definitely from the brain of a storyteller. And that is why children do not chase dragons anymore. And that's the reason why the reason we have ran all the magic out of the world, because we put everything in 2 categories, is or isn't. And that I 100% am completely on board with you, Baker, on that situation right there, because you know what? Oh, look, it's the Loch Ness Monster. Why can't we all just say, hey, we don't know what it is. It could be the Loch Ness Monster. No, let's get 10,000 submarines. Let's drain the lake. Let's take all the magic out of every single thing that we do and take all the wonder out. Because I remember as a kid, it's like, oh, man, aliens are over here. You know, we've seen this. You know, Bigfoot's over here. Don't take the magic out of the world. Leave the magic in the world.
Leave it where it is. And isn't that part of what drew us into this space? Is like we're all sleeping. We're sleeping in tree houses on top of our trucks in the woods.
100%.
Like, there's a childlike wonder to it that drew us to this space. And it's not to say that we're all, you know, like when I went out and did the Area 51 video, the only thing that I wrote down that I knew I wanted to say, like script wise, in that whole video is what I closed the video with. And it's there are too many people hell bent on ridding all the magic of the world. And I think we need more of that. So whether you're a skeptic or a believer or somewhere in between, let's have more beauty, more wonder, and more adventure. Like that's, to me, that's why my channel exists. That's what I want to do.
And that's wonderful. And that's great. Why, like you said, why do we have to explain it? Why do we have to explain it? Why can't we just look at it and enjoy it?
I agree totally that, you know, this world is losing its imagination and it's stories and, you know, that kind of thing. I do agree 100%, but I personally want to know if there's aliens. I want to go to space, damn it.
Well,
I just,
sure.
Let
me just go ahead and tell you something. Aliens exist. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. You can call me crazy if you want to. Aliens exist. Just happens.
I'm not Dan. My point is not to say. My point is the exact opposite of what you're feeling. My point is not to say we should just leave room for it, even though it's not true. My point is the categories of fact and fiction when it comes to storytelling are less relevant than the story itself and where the story takes you. And sometimes it takes you into fact, and sometimes it takes you into fiction. But that doesn't make the story lose its value.
Yep.
Yeah. The story is the journey. It's it's the journey. You don't ask. I don't know. I could get on this. I could be on this for hours because this is like because
somebody asked me the other day was like, do you got a script in mind for our trip that you're going on? And I was like, the trip is the story. I don't need a script. It's just whatever happens is happening. That's how I want to tell the story is like they're there. So the story, I get what you're saying. Hey, there's Craig. Yep.
Yeah, Craig's been in there for a swift minute.
Oh, I just saw him.
He has. Yeah. And it is. The world has lost its imagination and its ability to not try to debunk everything and enjoy just the story. If you're taken away from like grandparents' opportunity to tell you the stories about their childhood, it might not be real, the things they're telling you, but it's still that time spent that you're going to lose because you're just like, nah, that can't happen. Just whatever, go on.
There's so much stuff. There is so much stuff that has happened that cannot be explained and that will never be explained, but people will fight for an explanation for it just to put it in a category.
Yes.
And it's like, and it's like, you see, I really like, so I like the pyramid stuff. I'm a big pyramid, watching the pyramids, stuff like that. And I hate watching a video after I've seen, they moved this stone. This stone came from 300 miles away. It doesn't even exist here. Geologists say this doesn't exist here. And like, oh, well, they all went and got some wooden poles and they just moved it over. I'm like, why do we have to? I don't care how it got there. It just didn't exist.
Everybody knows dinosaurs moved the damn rocks. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I take my granddaughters outside, and when we go outside and we play, we hunt dragons and we hunt monsters and we tell stories at night when they spend the night here. We lay in the bed and I don't read a storybook to them. I make a story up for them every time. And that's all we do is we just sit down and I tell them a story and over. It's never the same thing. And so I'm a big proponent of creativity. I love creativity. I think it's great for people.
We tell our kids all the time. We tell them there's truth, and then there's things that are false, and then there's the things that are more than true. And to me, that's where storytelling. It's like it transcends the categories. This is no longer about fact or fiction. This is about the way the story can be carried with you through your life and the ties that those kids are going to have with their grandpa or their dad or their then at that point it's not even about that. If someone asks me, is like, well, is that story that your grandma told you, is it true or not? It's just like, if that's the question you're asking, you've already missed the point. Like, that's so not the right question.
So it was like my dad, his brothers would sit around when I was a kid. That my dad's brother was in World War II. My dad was in Korea and Vietnam, and he would always say we'd sitting around and telling lies. And they weren't telling lies, but the stories to them were bigger. And it's like, when you catch the fish, it was this big. And then next time it's this big, those stories and stuff. It just, that's their way of passing it on and, remembering it, that kind of thing. So we need to bring that back. We really do need to instill that in folks.
And that's what we're doing. That's exactly what we do every time that we go out and we sit down and we go out and we tell a story around the campfire. And it got mentioned in the chat just a second ago. We go out and we tell stories around a campfire, or we go out and the stuff that we don't film and the stuff that we just talk about has morphed has morphed over the times that we've told it, and it's changed, and it's become, we've embellished, and we've added, and we've made it funnier, or or we left out some questionable spots that we shouldn't have been there in the first place, and then that all ties us together. And storytelling, which is what Baker's forte for this whole situation is just what happens when we're there, and then when you purvey that story to other people, it just brings everybody together, and I love it, man. That's I love it. So
yep,
me, I'm always about telling a good story.
Good friends, good food, and a good story bring folks together.
Except when you guys call me short. When you guys make fun of me.
Well, there's that story about you growing that one time, but it turned out not to be true.
That did not happen. No, it did not happen.
That was an embellishment there, Becky, when you said you could reach the top shelf. We all knew you were lying, but
hey, look, the top shelf is relevant. Okay, it's relevant. Where's the top shelf at? It can be wherever we want the top shelf to be. It could be 3.
The top shelf is whichever one you can reach yourself. That's the top shelf.
The bottom shelf is the top shelf. If that's
the bottom, yeah, it's fine. It's okay.
It's perspective.
That's right.
But it is perspective. But no, man, we're doing the Pacific Northwest next year. We're going on the Goonies trip because the Goonies is my all-time favorite movie. It's like I absolutely love that movie. So Gina and I are going to head out to the Pacific Northwest and go to Astoria, and we're going to go visit the Goonies jail and going to go see all that stuff.
I've got a buddy named Grant. His channel is called 7 Overland. I think that's right. Look him up. But he did that. He took his Jeep and his trailer and went out, and they hit the Goonie spots, and it was a great series of videos. But yeah, look him up. I think it's 7 Overland. I'll
check it out. You will never see any of my videos from the.
I'll have to go.
We don't all have to do the same thing. That's the thing, man. Like that's just because I've noticed this. There are some channels out there like I think it's Casey 470 or something. He does tons of product review. Dude, that guy's incredible. I suck at product review. That doesn't make product review bad, or people that don't enjoy making videos, but they enjoy getting out there. Like there's no formula that anybody has to take. And I hate it when people come to me and they're like, dude, I tried so hard to make a video, but I just get overwhelmed and I don't want to do it. Then I'm like, then don't, bro. Do what you enjoy doing.
Do you?
Do what you enjoy. If you don't enjoy that, do it.
You have to love making videos or you're not going to make videos.
No.
Yeah.
It aggravates the fire out of me, but it's one of those things I enjoy doing, but because I can sit there and just nerd out on a 10-second scene, take me 4 hours to do it and get it right. But when I'm done, I'm like, yes, I did that. I've got that little dopamine hit or whatever, but I enjoy it. Yeah.
That's dopamine, like this right
okay.
Here. People ask me all the time, we're out running around. They're like, how do you even, I don't see how you get on the podcast and you just start randomly talking about whatever. I'm like, because that is my life. I do not have a formulated plan for anything. So it's just like, I just go with it and let it roll. That's why I can't do content videos. Like I can't sit still long enough to do, a video. Like I would have to, it would be one, I turn the camera on and that just have to be let it go and just upload it. I couldn't do any editing or whatever. And then that would be horrible because that would be really bad. It'd just be beep, 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 beep.
No, but Brad,
beep,
but obviously, this format is something that you excel in. I mean, there's a reason that like so many guys that try podcasts and burn out on them, like myself, and then see other guys. And I'm like, oh, I want to do it. And it's the same thing. And I find myself telling myself the same thing that I tell other guys. It's like, dude, stay in your lane and do what you love. Like if the podcast thing wears you out and it stresses you out and you have a hard time staying consistent, then don't do that and focus on what you can do naturally. And you're killing it in this format. And so I'm mean that I'm
bar real low.
No, dude. No, you're doing the same thing that you're accusing me of early on. And like you obviously you're a community builder. Nobody throws parties like you guys throw parties. You'd have a great podcast and you're doing those things well. If you weren't doing them well, people wouldn't be building up around you. So
well, I appreciate that very much, but it's all it's an 870 unified effort, as I tell everybody.
And you say that, and I do realize, and you do a great job of delegating and a great job of diverting the praise, but also absorb it when it comes your way because you started all this. So it's okay to take some ownership in that.
Well, I appreciate that very much. You have no idea how much I do appreciate that. Even to that one guy at Walmart who got their picture taken with me, I still love you, bro. You're still getting a Christmas card this year.
You're a great catalyst.
Yeah, for sure. It takes a special type of person to build that and facilitate it. Not everyone can do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, because if you wouldn't have been on here early on here, it would have just been me and Baker, and I'd have been like, "So Baker, yeah, so you like cameras?"
Yeah. Right. Cool. And for those of y'all watching, I told him beforehand, I was like, don't start asking me about gear because I will answer you and we will waste an hour talking about stuff nobody cares about.
Yeah, he's like, don't nerd out on camera. So I marked off like 9 things off my ask questions. So I got to ask, so who was Baker at 18? What was your plan?
Yeah. No, that was better.
I just popped Biddle up on here, because I love this dude so much. You have no idea how cool a cat he is. But I've never got to camp with him ever.
What?
I've never camped with him. Nope.
Here's what I'll say about Jacob. Jacob, yeah, and obviously Jacob was one of the dudes that like I first connected with in this space, and he's a great friend. He's one of the when you find out that he's as young as he is, it makes no sense because he acts
he's like
older
16.
than most of us. Yeah. He's like 12 years old, but he acts like he's like 82. It's a weird kind of combo. But Jacob, he likes small groups. He doesn't like the big, and he'll come on group trips and stuff. But like, he likes doing more like. So sometimes you should reach out and be like, "Yo, let's go on like a 2-3 rig trip," and I bet he'd be in.
I tell this story all the time because I always talk about it. Because so the two first people that I met in the Ozarks, Chris Carroll and Jacob. I met them crossing Union Schoolhouse. Jacob, the very first sticker anybody ever gave me was the first sticker that he gave. He gave me that sticker at the crossing at the Union Schoolhouse, and it is still on my propane tank.
That's cool.
And it has been there since it's gone through 2 Jeeps. Excuse me. But yeah, one of the very first people I met, met him. Actually, I met Chris and him crossing Union Schoolhouse, and then I met Paul Easley. I don't know if you guys know Paul Easley or not, but Paul used to run through the Ozarks all the time. I bumped into him. Him and I became good friends. But Biddle, very first sticker very first sticker I ever got. So,
man, the first person I got to meet was Craig. I got ripped off.
Oh no, man! I have been so lucky. Oh, hang on, I gotta show you something. Corporate just came in, so I got my corporate. Look, guys, come find me. If you were at Rito last year, come find me, and you can get one of these stickers. Ask me about Canada. Come find me if you were there for this. Come get the Ask Me About Canada sticker. So
there you go.
Come find me.
Real quick before we jump off here, we're already over. What's the plan for Rito this year? What's your have to do's or gonna do? Is you just gonna get there and relax? You got to put in some work, or is this your time off?
Yeah, so I'm going. I mean, it's kind of a little bit of everything you just said. I'm going up on Thursday, and gonna set up the camper and detach the camper. So originally, I was going to be shooting another video with Backwoods. So I was gonna be there Thursday, split Friday, go shoot with them, get back on Saturday. But plans changed on that. So my family's now, because I don't have the obligation with Backwoods, my family's now going to come down on Friday. We're probably going to go wheel some, but the work portion of my weekends changed dramatically. So now I'm just getting to like hang out. I'm going to go put the truck in the Storytell area for a little bit, leave the camper out in the field, and just kind of go back and forth, meet whoever wants to hang out. I've got some folks coming up to camp, and this is why I like Rito, man. Of all the events that I do, I like Rito because it's so chill. Like, it's just hang out with folks, if you want to go wheel, you want to do vendors, do that. They're upping it a lot this year. They're going to have hot air balloons and outdoor movies
hot air
and some
balloon.
stuff. Yeah. So they're going to have some more activities, which is going to be cool. But I'm just looking forward to hanging out with folks. And of course, I'll be filming some too. But I try not to let that get in the way of the hanging out.
Yeah, I'll probably film one day, and then the rest of the time I'll take for me, because I work my butt off at Overland of America, so I want some time to enjoy and relax and hang out with folks. You got any cigars picked out?
Bro, yes. Dude, let's see if you can see that little glowing light right there. I just restocked that whole humidor, man. So
what you bringing with you?
Probably I've got some really good My Father, some Mi Amor de Cuba that I'm super excited about, that are amazing. And then I've got some Rocky Patel and some Leaf by Oscar. So
what's a Rocky Patel that you'd like? I've got a store here with a lot of Rocky Patel. They got some 10 and 14 year. I think
never had a 14. I had a 10, never had a 14. So if you want to grab something, let's do that. Black
all right,
and
I'll grab one.
That's Greg right there, buddy.
Or a Marlboro Red or something like something fancy.
So we're gonna have a late night cigar smoke chill out night.
Absolutely.
Friday night, Thursday night, whatever.
All right. I'll bring some to share.
Well, I'll bring a couple bottles of mediocre bourbon.
Hey, Craig. So we done like sang your praise multiple times in this live stream here. So we expect a couple more of these, maybe a couple of stogies. Yeah. So show up and don't make us look like liars singing your praise.
Yeah.
Guys, if you haven't seen Craig's wall, man,
I had a picture of it. It's not on my computer anymore. I deleted it, but it's it looks like something you'd see in the Vatican, but for booze.
That's the perfect comparison.
It's all backlit and like a shrine.
It's
the Catholic
awesome.
Church of bourbon.
The Catholic Church.
There you go. The Catholic Church of bourbon.
That's what it is. Oh, he's picked up horse soldier. That horse soldier is good, man. Like he's talking about this. Have y'all had that? That's the one I tried to get you to find me at when we went to Bonfire. So
I just got the old pecan praline.
What is that? Pralines and cream? What is that? What is that?
Just pecan.
Oh, this is actually really good. I have not had this before, and I bought this Chattanooga. I haven't had it.
Yeah,
and it's
actually cool bottle.
It's really good. Yeah, it's a sweet bottle. That's how I buy my bourbon, by the kind of bottle.
Me too.
I like having something I can pour over ice and just sip and enjoy, and that's one of those things. Crown is the other one, Jack, but that's pretty good.
This is going to be full of martinis.
Keep that away from me. You keep that away from me.
This is so much fun. This is so dangerous. It's like it's the AR-15 of alcohol dispensers. I mean,
exactly.
You can go from zero to full blown trouble right there. I mean, and it's battery powered. You don't have to do anything. Comes with cool stickers. Do things.
You can go from a good relationship to divorce in a switch.
Yeah. Woo! That right there will cause 9 kinds of troubles because you don't even know what's going on when that thing starts pouring out of there. But anyway, so we've run past our hour marker. We've been on here laughing and cutting up stuff like that. So Rito is this weekend, guys. Come on.
Make sure you look us up.
Yeah, come find us. We're going to be sitting around. Look for the flashing blue lights and handcuffs. Some of us will be there.
My flag will be up there. I think I'm pointing at it. Just look for the flag or the other blue Jeep.
The other blue Jeep on the internet.
The other blue Jeep. Yeah, the other blue Jeep.
Not coming. Matt's not bringing Sully. Sully's down. He's coming in the.
No, he's not coming at all. They're doing the.
Whoa! A Jeep broke down? No way.
It's getting improvements. It's improvements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Improvements.
Yeah.
I was being slightly sarcastic.
Yeah.
Slightly sarcastic.
I'm just. Okay. I haven't even bought my ticket yet because I don't trust my Jeep to make it.
I'm buying my ticket at the door. I'm paying. Randy's getting $10 more out of me because I'm buying it at the door.
Yep. I was waiting last minute. As much trouble as I've had out of my Jeep, but
hey, but I'm bringing something to give away at the door prize giveaway. I'm bringing something to give away though. So
some stilts.
You bastard.
Piece of the yellow brick road.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Peace out from Florida. All right, man.
Yeah.
But no, I'm bringing some traction boards because it's going to be muddy this weekend to give away some traction boards. Somebody's going to be there in a Subaru, and they're going to need to go home.
100%. 100%. That happens every time.
All right,
Hey,
Baker,
guys.
thanks for coming, hanging out, brother. We appreciate it so much. Thanks for being the world's greatest storyteller that we know in the history of the planet so far. And as always, guys, we appreciate everybody that comes and hangs out with us here. Come see us at Rito. Come hang out with Baker. He's giving away free stuff at his booth.
Oh yeah,
which is
giving away my truck.
He's giving away his truck. I'm gonna try to sell Frankie Post's truck this year.
Free kisses, topless pictures, just whatever you guys want. Just come hang out.
Yeah,
Brad's giving away free hugs. If you see him, make sure you pick him up.
All right. Brad hasn't bought his ticket yet. I am coming. I'm already packed, dude. I'm hooking up to a trailer in the morning.
I'm ready to go.
You want
to go early? I can leave in the morning.
I can't leave in the morning. I have to go to I got 2 job sites I got to go to before I can leave. So, but anyway, we're going to shut this show down, and we're going to pick it up live at Rito. Guys, come hang out with us. Come say hi to Baker. Come say hi to Dan. Come say hi to everybody. Go hang out, have a good time, buy some cool stuff from all the cool vendors. Love the music, hot air balloon ride, trying to die in a tornado, and let's see what happens. So everybody, as always, we'll see you on the trails. Peace out, Girl Scouts.